Yeah, he might be chucked up there for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I think Steve Gleeson had it earlier in the season that he scored his first goal for a while, and then I should have, if we were allowed to bet, which of course we're not. I should have gone and put a little bet on him after that one, and Robbo would be the same. But I'm not into that type of thing, so I'll leave that for other people. But no, listen, it's I think it's sometimes just that belief when you score the first one, the next time you go in the box for the next corner, there's a little bit you think, I think I can score again here, and sometimes that's what it's about. Set pieces, you get in the box, the delivery of course has got to be good, which it has been for both of the goals from Damari. Has been spot on, but I think sometimes it's just having that little bit of belief. But you're going to actually get your head on something, and thankfully for us, he has done. 2 times in 2 games.
Yeah, and he's come back. He's been strong in defence as well, so it justifies your faith and your choices. Obviously, you're really pleased with the win on Tuesday against Bolton. How pleased were you with Shinnie and Jack McGowan?
I think I was pleased with every player. I think every player has contributed hugely in the last 12 games, let alone the last 4. And I think certain games, we've said this before, we've got a good enough squad that certain games we can tweak things a different way. Shin's come in for Dave Davis because Dave Davis was ill. The reality is I probably would have picked Dave Davis in that game, but Shin's has come in and done fantastically well. And we've got options for other games, and I think what's important and what's really been very nice for me as a manager is that, like you say, Robbo's come in out of a cold a little bit and done his bit in the last 4 games. Shins has come in, he did it away at Ipswich, did it away at Bolton, come in and done his job. Magoma came on 2 games and scored 2 goals to win us the games, and that's what you ask for, the squad to if they're asked to start the game, fantastic, do your job. If you're asked to come and have an impact and do your job. If you're not asked to play, be ready for when you are playing. So, and I think that's been an important message all season so far, and I think we've had some really good examples of where that's been very important to us as a team.
And going ahead to Saturday's game against Hull, of course, Steve Bruce, former manager, as we know, of the Blues, well respected by the fans. Have you worked with Steve, or have you come across him? I've never come across him, but have you worked with him before, or had any?
No, I haven't. No, I've had 1 or 2 conversations with Steve. Of course, I mean, as an ex-Birmingham City manager, he's always been very helpful whenever I've spoke to him. Listen, he's vastly experienced. I think he finished at Birmingham as a player just before I came in. I think it was actually quite close around that time. So I'm not sure if I could honestly say that I filled his boots, because I think they were pretty big boots to fill. Such was his pedigree as a player, and I think he's followed that into management, hasn't he? You look, he's got promotions on his CV, he's got Premier League experience on his CV. So we know with the squad they've got up there, and we know with Steve as a manager it's going to be a very tough game, but we're in a great run of form. We've played, I think, our last 4 away games we've conceded 1 goal, which not many teams could profess to that in this division. We've won the last 4 games, all in. We're playing well. We've got a real confidence about us. Every game we know our task is going to be big to beat a side like Hull. Every game we know they've got good players with Premier League experience. So I think at the moment we're just looking forward to every game. It's a different challenge. It's away from home. It's a big game. It's quite ironic that people are talking about it as one of the biggest games in the division, us 2nd and then 4th, which seems slightly surreal at times. But we deserve to be there. So we'll look forward to the match.
And how much in your planning and the squad you choose, assuming that the information's right, that Curtis Davis, part of the strong sort of backfield duo there up at Hull, he's probably going to be out because of injury?
Yeah, but again, they've got Alex Bruce, who came in the last game, who's vastly experienced, an excellent player. They've got Harry Maguire there that could put in if they need to. So I don't. For me, really, you can look at their team, and it would be remiss for me to say that I think they'd miss one player. If Livermore's not available, then Huddleston comes in, and that's the options that they've got. So we're vastly respectful of their squad, but we played QPR a few weeks ago with a similar type of squad in terms of experience and the quality they've got in the group. And again, we've got to work incredibly hard to get anything out of the game. And we're pretty aware of our task as we are every game, you know. So again, we'll look forward to going, and it'll be another good challenge for the group.
And is Clayton looking forward to returning to where he made his debut on the jersey?
Well, I just had a bit of a joke with him this morning. I didn't realise he was an apprentice at Hull, and I looked at some of his loan clubs. I think Scarborough was one of his loan clubs, so I had a little bit of fun with him on one or two of the games he must have played in there, because of course, you know, I've seen a little side of that myself. But I think that's, for me, it'd be a great game for Clayton to go under the circumstances of where we are in the league, and obviously the form that he's in and the position he's in. And I always think someone like Clayton is a great example to any young player, you know, for to start as an apprentice, to maybe not make it into their first team very often, to go out lower leagues, non-leagues, have to claw his way back up the league. And I think when you see him now, you know, he plays that way. You know, signed a new deal in the summer. One or two people would question whether his hunger would be retained, and I think you can see the way he works for the team. I've probably never met a more unselfish player in my time playing football than Clayton, you know, and that's the biggest testament I can pay to him.